Right, everyone. Probably the most damning political news that I've seen lately. Tim Walz has said the quiet part out loud. He has a tendency to do this sort of thing. He's a little bit of a derp. He was, of course, Kamala Harris' running mate for the last election, which went so disastrously wrong for the Democratic Party. This might be one of the reasons why. Tim Walz, in effect, was a DEI hire, like in the description archived, of course, saying, well, the reason that I was taken on as running mate is I could talk in code to white dudes. Very, very telling. Haven't some of us been saying for years that this is the dynamic that happens within politics? For example, Kamala Harris chooses Tim Walz. Why? He's a white male. She chose the wrong white male. She should have chosen Booty Judge or someone like that. That probably would have gone over a little bit better, and she wouldn't have lost maybe quite so catastrophically. Somebody who's a little bit more well-spoken, who doesn't gyrate around like a maniac when he's on stage, who goes fucking crazy. That would have been a little bit of a better position to be in. Joe Biden with Kamala. Old white dude, young-ish black female. Okay, well, there's your contraposition. Contraposition is very important within dance and within politics, by the way. Barack Obama, young black male. It's going to scare the boomers. Oh my God, a well-spoken young black male. I better check that my wallet is still in my fucking pocket. What does he do? Old white dude becomes his running mate, and so on forth. You can see the contraposition in modern politics pretty much all the way back. If you've got somebody young running for the presidency, somebody older is almost certain to be their running mate. If you've got somebody older, somebody younger is going to be the running mate. Look at Trump, for example. Why the fuck do you think he chose J.D. Vance? Trump is an older boardroom style man. He needed somebody who was younger and very passionate, very well spoken, so he chose J.D. Vance, the veteran. He made a good choice, apparently, because he won. This happens all the time. For Tim Walz, though, to come out and acknowledge openly that he was only chosen because he happens to be able to speak to white male people is pretty damning and also extremely funny at the same time. And it's true too. This is what I suspected. Kamala Harris, spur of the moment, had to choose somebody who was white and male. She had no choice because she felt, and she's correct about this, by the way, that white males generally would not gravitate towards her platform, not that they did anyway, because she was so poorly spoken and fucking insane, if she didn't have that sort of attaché within her actual campaign. Fundamentally right, strategically clever, but Tim Walz is a derp. He is a tard. And so he doesn't, I think, realize the amount of damage that he just did by making this particular statement. Oh yeah, basically, I could talk to white men. Okay, that's going to go over real well when Kamala probably launches a presidential bid in 2028. Not that she'll win anyway. I mean, she could get beaten by the dog catcher at this point. It wouldn't make any difference. She's toast politically. Her best thing that she can do would be to run for the gubernatorial slot in California and let old Gavin join the primaries. That would probably be her best bet. Then you become governor of California. Yeah, probably. I mean, it is a blue state. There are red areas in it, but preponderance is blue. You can probably pull that off. Will you become president of the United States? No, you're not going to be goddamn elected president. And if that really is her goal, then it shows her even crazier than I believed originally. Because it would be insane for her to launch such a campaign bid when she could settle for the gubernatorial slot and probably win it. That's what I would do. If I knew hell, my beliefs and my personality do not extrapolate to a federal level platform. The people of the United States, by and large, will reject me and I will lose. But my views are really, really loved in my home state by the preponderance of the population. Why don't I just settle for that? I'm still a fucking governor. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. It's not like you've not succeeded in life, undeservedly, but, you still succeeded at something. That's about the best that Kamala Harris can possibly do at this point. Um, Again, Tim Walz is literally saying exactly the thing that he shouldn't be saying if he had any care for a potential Kamala Harris run. And I suspect that there's a reason for this. I think that Tim Walz, along with apparently everyone else that's ever been associated with Kamala, fucking hates her. She is a backstabbing, vindictive, controlling bitch. And Tim Walz didn't like this. And so he's doing exactly what any rational man would do and throwing her under the bus by default. Call it a conspiracy theory, but I think that's exactly what we're seeing here. He says something totally zany. I mean, he does anyway, but zanier than usual. And says basically, I'm a DEI hire. She only chose me because I was a white male, because she thought that she couldn't reach out to them, which is true, but she couldn't reach out to anyone else apparently either. That's why she lost. And I think he's saying this for a purpose. I think this is on purpose. I don't think that this was Tim Walz just being his usual derpy self. I think that it was literally on purpose. He said this specifically to crush Kamala Harris. And I can imagine that there are many other people that had to deal with her over the years that would love to do the fucking same thing. Because she seems to be a uniquely dislikable individual, along with Klobuchar and a few others, Maxine Waters. Some of these individuals seem like just generally despicable. I mean, even Elizabeth Warren seems nicer than these nutcases. I'd rather hang out with her on her vineyard than have to deal with Maxine Waters for 10 minutes. Can you imagine that? Or AOC, some of these others. And they seem to mostly be female politicians. In Tim Walz's case, he's just a derp, but he's apparently an intelligent derp because I have a feeling that this was very, very much pointed. That's about all. Peace out.